Good morning, students. Today we are going to read another very important question in the topic of divine decree, which is a subtopic of the articles of faith in Islamiyat O levels. So this is one of the very important question which has come into the paper many times and may come again. So concentrate yourself. We are going to start now. The question is, to what extent does this belief of having faith in divine decree affect the daily living of the Muslims? So actually we are going to read different aspects of the human life which is affected by believing in divine decree. So look now, if this question come in the paper, explain the impact of this belief on a Muslim's life. For example, dependence on God for all efforts and having patience in times of the difficulties. So here are some aspects which we are going to discuss, which divine decree affect. A strong belief in God's predestination directly influences the conduct of the Muslims in a number of ways. The first thing is a sign of the faith. No one can become a true Muslim without having faith in the divine decree. It is a sign of faith. So this is the first thing, that if we want to become a faithful Muslim, a believer, then we have to believe in the divine decree. This is important. This is one of the articles of faith. The second thing is responsibility. Allah has given humans the freedom of choice for their actions and has also made them responsible of what they do. So there are some limitations, but at the same time we have free will for some things. So freedom of the choice for their actions and has also made them responsible of what they do. So a sense of responsibility is created. Next is means of acquiring divine pleasure. So this is another thing which a believer feel. All human beings have been endowed free will. They can and should use it to attain the pleasure of Allah. The next thing which creates in the believer's life is the hope of compensation. When a believer is beset by misfortune, remains patient with the motive of getting reward by Allah. So when we believe in the predestination, God's predestination, we are hopeful that if something that is not given in this world to a believer, the believer is hopeful that God will bestow, God will bless those things in the life after death if he is a rightful Muslim. So a hope of the compensation is developed in a believer's life. Next is forgiveness of the sins. A believer is not beset by any hardship, fatigue, illness, grief, or even a worry, except that Allah will expiate his sins by it. So this is our belief. This is our belief that if something bad is happening to us, Allah will expiate our sins by it. Next thing that is developed in a believer's life by believing in the God's predestination is patience. Muslims who are firm in faith remain patient over tough times because they think this is God's will. Next is no fear of the death. Believers are not afraid of leaving this world because they are of the opinion that a person has a fixed age. No one can extend it, no one can reduce it. So this is a thing that is developed in a believer's life, that no fear of the death is developed. Next is no fear of the harm by humans. So no one can cause any harm except what Allah has ordained. So this is the thing which is developed in a believer's life. Next is satisfaction. He who looks towards Allah has a satisfied soul and is content with his life. The next thing is mighty reward. It will be bestowed upon those who are patient in adversity. So, this is our belief that if we are on the right path in this world, we will get a mighty reward in the life hereafter. Next thing is lack of the exultation. The righteous man is neither covetous nor a booster. He is obedient to Allah's will in all circumstances. Next thing is everything is good for a believer. If a misfortune strikes believers, they observe patience and steadfastness. If Allah shows them His favors, for example, success in studies or any project, they are thankful to Allah for it. So, everything is good for a believer. So, if misfortune strike the believers, they observe patience, and if they got the favors of the God, so they are thankful for the Allah, thankful to Allah. Next thing that is developed in a believer's life is religious harmony. One religious beliefs are a matter of inner conviction and cannot be imposed from outside. In case of the setback or failure, he will seek God's help in order to keep his faith intact. He will remember the Quranic claim that says, "Be sure we shall test you with something of fear and hunger, some loss in goods or lives, or the fruits of your toil." He will always reassure himself of God's promise of doing justice. God is never unjust in the least degree. So these are the some effects that divine decree has on a believer's life. So one of the very important questions, students. This question has come many times in the paper. So remember, learn it, make your notes. Thank you so much.